Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your headliner. He hails from Wilkes-Barre. He's wearing leather tonight, and he likes to wear leather. He is the reason you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage a superstar of comedy, Cork! Just say it. I'm a shade green. The only gun I need is the ace of spades. What a nice bunch. Listen, first of all, thanks everybody for hanging in. And believe me, I'd much rather be home giving my wife the 3 minutes of pleasure she looks forward to, too. So at least we're all hanging in. And I do have to be honest with you, I'm always so happy to be here because it's always such a better crowd than most of the crowds that I'm used to working with. The last crowd I had was for a Chronic Masturbators Convention, which was really, yeah, you were there, matter of factly. You're the guy that used up all the tissues. Nobody shook hands, nobody ate the dip. It was very uncomfortable. You couldn't get into a bathroom in about 2 or 3 city blocks. Really a shame, but this seems a lot nicer. And a lot of ladies here, right? Where are the girls at? It's so tragic because I'm such a fucking creeper. And I figured it out because you have to kind of pick your spot. Like pervert is the low end, and sex offender is the high end, and creeper's right down the middle. It's a good spot to be for me, because the pervert's usually the guy that makes the front page of the paper for fucking the vacuum. And basically, you just got to grease your cock first, amateur. Seriously. Call me, I will help you, I can assist, because I'm right there in the middle. I'm not going to do any time, but it's going to be real fucking close. And the funny thing about it is it's a shame to be a creeper because I really try to be a good dad. Do we have any parents in the room? Any parents? It is so difficult, and I'm real lucky. We have a rich man's family, which is 1 boy, 1 girl. I always think of Forrest Gump. I still haven't seen any of that money yet. But oddly enough, it's funny for me because my son is a little bit of a junkie. He's a Lego junkie. And it's at the point now where my wife can't even take him to the store because she always finds him down in front of the Toys R Us wearing Daisy Dukes, high heels, and a halter top. Guys are walking by, he's like, hey, mister, you get me that Star Wars Death Star and I'll make it worth your while. So we're kind of trying to figure out how to work that out with him. It's been a little bit difficult. My daughter is an angel, and that's a nice thing for all you dads out there that have daughters. You're guaranteed you're always going to have 1 girl in the house that's actually going to talk to you, which is a win. Right up until, probably right around now, because our daughter's 10, and it's already started to change. Now the conversation's like, it's okay, Daddy, that you're a bad provider. It's okay that Mommy probably could have done better. These are all things I already know. Just go ask your grandmother. She's also keeps me in very high regards. And the mother-in-law can be the most difficult part of the family situation. I'm really lucky. My mother-in-law really is a big fan of mine. And oddly enough, the mother-in-law will try to sabotage the father anytime she can. Let me take a quick check. Let's all raise a quick toast before I get to this one. My mother-in-law sabotages me just a little bit. Now, one thing kids love is cookies. Fresh cookies, right? Everybody that has kids love cookies. So, of course, when they're at Grandmom's house, she puts out a plate of cookies, puts it down on the table. Kids are all excited. Can't wait to get to the cookies. Puts them down on the table. Here's your cookies, kids. By the way, your father's an asshole. And then goes right back to what she's doing. And that's it. So then I try to be the good dad, and I'm at home with the kids. Trish is working. Take out a plate of cookies, put them down on the table. Come on in, kids. I got some cookies for you. Put them down on the table. Kids both look up at me. Thanks, asshole. Like, what? What happened there? And it's tough because technology is probably one of the biggest problems for kids because they're always on the internet. They're always looking at stuff, and you're always trying to monitor it. So, like, the crazy questions that come back to you. Daddy, what's a dirty Sanchez? I'm thinking it's probably a really hard-working landscaper, I guess. I think might have to Google that. I don't know. Because there's so many different risks with kids. Like, you always have to explain to the children about sex. Now, my wife had an easy time with my daughter, and I actually snuck around the corner for this conversation. Basically, she pointed down at my daughter's vagina and said, listen, the only time you're going to need that is A, if you need a nice vacation, and B, if you need jewelry. So don't worry about it for a long time. Now, with the boys, much different situation. Because as soon as your son finds his dick, he is not going to let it go. He's roughing that shit up like it owes him money. And that's usually where the sex conversation comes from, because you find him in the corner, he's like, and he's angry with it. He's angry with himself. And he asked you, Dad, what am I supposed to do? And I said, son, all I can tell you is going to tell you to do a whole bunch of things, and you're going to have to do them. Otherwise, you'll get real angry. Next thing you know, you'll be waiting in line somewhere and you get an instant boner. Because that's how the dick gets back at you. He really, really does. Your dick will screw with you like nobody's business. Now, the biggest thing today, the two biggest money-making industries are blue pills, Viagra, Cialis, everything else, and porn. Tell me that's not conflicting. Like, you're literally just getting a guy's dick back together so he can buy a movie. That's all you're doing. And I'm kind of in that age category, too, where for a lot of years I thought EDD meant every dick dies. But it doesn't. Medically, I wasn't too proficient. It actually, my big thought on the whole thing is the commercials. Does everybody know all the EDD commercials? Maybe you can help me out with one. It's the guy with the truck and the horse. All right? This is what you have to explain to me. Because I'm right in that age category where my dick should die, and it would be good because I'd like to have some hobbies at some point besides him. And I see the guy out there in the field with the horse, and I'm thinking to myself, is this how it goes down? Where my dick dies and then I'm a horse fucker? Because I didn't see that coming. I would have taken better care of it. I really would. I would have bought it something. I would have done something. And that's the shameful part of it is it never makes any sense like what we actually do to ourselves. So I figured it out that my new term instead of EDD is TTD. Now, do you know what TTD stands for? Anyone? It stands for tricking the dick in, because that's why the dick dies. It has nothing to do with heart disease or strokes or any of that stuff you tell her. It's basically, and you girls are going to learn something very important here, what we do to him is not pretty. We're basically tricking him. Here's a couple examples. I'm telling you, she's not 350. She's maybe like 325. She's not as big as you think. She's not. I'm just, seriously, trust me. That's one. No, she doesn't have a mustache. She doesn't have a mustache. No, it's the lighting in the room. It's the lighting in the room. That's not blood. Ah, too soon? Too soon? Was it too soon? Anyway. I'm sorry, sometimes you just gotta go. So the end result of all things is, boys, take care of your dicks. Keep them as long as you can. It's very important. So let's talk another thing. We'll jump from dicks to phones. Like everybody has a cell phone in here, right? You've probably been on it in the past couple minutes. Like there's a text being sent out right now. Down at the Trocadero, stayed too late, comic thoughtful, still might blow 'em, send. I mean, that's one of the possibilities. I don't mind the cell phones, but the earpieces bug the shit out of me. I don't know what the actual technology term is of the earpiece. I'm thinking it's crazy fucking person talking to themselves, but I haven't seen it written anywhere, so I'm not 100% sure. And I never get this guy. Like, this guy would get a pass. It's like, yeah, honey, I'll pick up the kids, and I'll stop by the Giant on the way home. This is what I'm always walking by. Oh, you know she crazy. She crazy. She know he's your man. She know he's your man. She's too crazy. Loud, swinging, all over the place. And I'm like just trying to dodge and come around it. And my whole thought to myself is, I got to figure out a way. Like, you can't just go up and go, excuse me, hi. Can you shut the fuck up? Because that's rude, and you kind of don't want to go that way. So instead, I play a little game. I pretend I have the earpiece in too. I get real close to her and go, yeah, I got half the body in the trunk. I can't get the other fucking half in the trunk. I need some fucking assistance. Normally, they get off their call pretty quick. I think they're calling 911, but that's okay, because the phone call's fucking over. But technology takes on a lot of different forms these days. Like I said, we talked about texting on your phones. For you young people out there in the room, you can do everything on the phone. You can date on the phone. You can meet people on the phone. I mean, a lot of times, like you see couples out and they're back and forth, back and forth. You can break up on the phone. Now, this one to me is a cheat. Because for every older guy in here, you're missing out and getting kicked in the nuts, where you had to do it face to face. Now it's like, hey, it's over, send. And off it goes. And a couple minutes back, you go, fuck you. Go fuck yourself? I think I have an app for that. Do I have an app for that? I think I have an app for that. So that's one of the pratfalls. Does anybody text while driving? Anybody? Everybody texts while driving. Nobody ever says anything. I don't. I'm normally too drunk. And I can't do both. I'd love to tell you that I'm that talented, but I'm really not. Because if I was really talented, I could blow myself and I wouldn't even be here. But the end result of texting and technology and everything else, you know, it still leads us back to the other points. And everybody, how many married people do we have out in the room? Married? Nobody's married? Everybody's saying, raise somebody else's hand. Marriage is not easy by any stretch. But, yeah, happily married like you, young man. So marriage, after a certain period of time in marriage, you're going to find that people take on different things. Like women, you don't understand why men masturbate, right? You do? It's because they're not bothering you, right? You're like, I don't care what you do it. Put it in a shredder. Like there's certain devices now, and I've done a lot of research on this, and I think there's a lot of things we'll talk about tonight where I think men get screwed. Like girls have the device that they use to pleasure themselves is called a personal massager. You know what guys got? You got a cock sock, you got a fleshlight, you got a pocket pussy. And no offense, like I wasn't there, they were naming the personal massager. What about the Vagina Shredder 3000? How about that one? How about your pussy's in the backyard 200? Whatever. I mean, if you sneak up on certain women with these, honest to God, they got the motor of a leaf blower. You can't even get near the room. What are you doing? I'm putting the clothes away. I mean, what the hell is that? But no, instead, we get tattooed. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, girls don't understand that guys are always constantly getting new porn. Like, new porn's coming in all the time. All the time. Imagine how you girls feel about pocketbooks, but you're not going finger blasting yourself in front of the coach section. You're excited, but you're not that excited. See, we just can't control it. We can't sort of grasp it. And that's the reason that men cheat. That's the reason men cheat. Everybody knows why men cheat. Men cheat because they're stupid. And men cheat because their dick runs their life. That's the only two reasons I can come up with. Has anybody ever here been caught cheating? This is always a good answer. Yeah, I did. Ooh, I did. Like, no one... If you got caught cheating, now what, was it stripper glitter? Because that's like, to me, is the best way to get caught. When you literally come home and you look like a 5-year-old's Christmas card, you've obviously done something terribly, terribly wrong. And then there's the other guy who comes down, his dick's still out. What were you doing? I was cleaning it. I guess. With lipstick and stuff. Like, seriously, asshole, you should be sleeping outside because you have no fucking plan. But that's what happens. Men just make those mistakes. They make those fucking simple mistakes, and they blow it for themselves. Like women, completely different situation. Because once again, and this will be a theme tonight, gang, Girls don't cheat. They have emotional friends. I had an emotional friend. Well, guess what? I did a little research on myself. If you look up emotional friend in the dictionary, it's a big pile of cash and a big cock right next to it. How's your emotional friend now? Don't think we're as dumb as I look. Wait a minute. All right, one more down. Oh, that's quite delicious. So anyway, that's the reason we drink. Now, this is the other thing that sort of makes me crazy. Now, drinking these days, did everybody take care of our bartenders? Take care of Carl in the back, Bob and Min? You always take care of them? You got to make sure you tip your bartenders, because if not, they poison you and give you roofies. That's why I don't tip them. I kind of like the roofies, to be honest with you. But the reason we drink is it's tough. Like, if you're a guy, there's certain drinks you can't order. Like, you can't just roll up to the bar and go, give me a pineapple cosmatini and my friend will have a shot of Jack. Oh, and by the way, my name's Jack. Like, that's a weird thing, and there's a new craze now. How many beer geeks do we have in the room? Beer geeks? Craft beer people? Any craft beer people? There's got to be a couple of you out here. Boy, did you guys fuck up beer. You fucked up beer like nobody's business. All the guys that I played Dungeons and Dragons with when I was a kid are now in the beer business. So if you're trying to shop around for beer, you're fucked. You go in there and go, yeah, I'm looking for some beer. And this dude comes out in a fucking lumberjack shirt and a fucking beard and goes, hey man, I can help you. Yeah, I'm looking for some beer. Yeah, we got double hop, triple hop, super Simcoe. We got cherry, berry. I got one from a Belgian monk's asshole. Let's see, what else? I got double dip, triple dip, doubles, overs, unders, cast finished, oak aged, barrel finished, barrel started, empty, closed, half empty, cork and cage, cork without the cork, cork with the cage, cage with the cork. And I finally go, just give me a beer that's not going to make me choke the fucking life out of you right now. The beer I like is the one that I give to my wife that makes me more attractive. I don't know what the fucking name of it is, but that's the beer I want. Just show me where it is. Plain and simple. But it never has to be that simple. And see, beer's too complicated. That's why everybody's smoking fucking pot. Everybody, even the beer geeks are smoking pot because they don't know what the fuck they're drinking. And the pot angle works because it was election day on Tuesday, right? So everybody voted on Tuesday. Budweiser. I voted for Bud. I know it wasn't on the ballot, but I wrote it in. So they put these proposition things in there, basically to legalize pot. And I think they're so close. But the problem is that the guys that they got to actually take this on and push this movement, they stop them right at the end. Because the guys before the judge in the hearing in the Senate, he says, yeah, we should legalize pot. Because you could take the money and then give the money to the schools, and then you can take the money and then you can give it to the schools. And then you can take some more of the money and then give it to the schools, and then you can send all the drug dealers to school. And the judge is like, well, you're making some convincing points. And right when they're at that point where it actually might pass, the guy goes, and then our dogs and cats can get married, man. That's going to be all right. Oh, dude, I'm starting to crash. I'm starting to crash. Starting to crash. And then you sort of think to yourselves, the complication of drugs, and everybody takes drugs, whether you know it or whether you don't know it. Like, everybody's on some sort of drug at some point or another. Is anybody on drugs right now? Well, if you are, then just leave some up at the bar, because I'm definitely going to need them when this is all said and done. Oh, boy, you guys have been fantastic so far. Let's see what we're going to talk about next. Oh, blow me. I think I talked about the blowjob earlier. You weren't paying attention? For the gentleman in the back, this is how his Friday night sounds. And then it's, thank you, mister. Thank you for that. That was really special. It's your birthday? Third day. Third day. It's turd day. Today is turd day. Well, that brings up an interesting point that my calendar is all fucked up. Because it says something completely different than turd day. Anyway, see, that's where you just sort of leave that little arc and you sort of wait and wait and wait and then you wait it out. Anyway, so I don't think the end of the conversation is you probably shouldn't legalize pot. But I tell you what, I personally need it for medicinal reasons, because I do, because I have rickets and scurvy, and also, if you haven't noticed, I have a little bit of a lazy eye. Well, I'm sorry, that's not politically correct. I have an underemployed eye. That's a little bit better. Just sort of can't find its way around. And the funny thing about, I think I'm also missing this arm. I'm not 100% sure. But if you guys could help pass the medicinal marijuana law, that would be really good for me. And Turd Day, you can help. Turd Day, you're going to be my man in helping to get that passed. I'm going to get your shit so smoked up, there's no way they're going to say no. I think older people need it. I mean, I think older people could definitely use something, because it's to the point now where people are living so long that you don't want to live that long. Like some of the scenarios that come into place, I want to get to the point where I live long enough where I'm not shitting myself. Because that can't be pleasant unless it's used for good, and you just take like senior citizens down to the DMV, let them blast in their pants, and then leave them there. Because that'd be fun. And guess what? The DMV deserves that. If you have those people that are in the grocery store with more than 20 items in the 20-item line, oh, here you go. Here's Granny shitting herself, fucker. Sit with that. Hope you enjoy that. That'll be fun for you. I mean, I think older people know it, because so many things happen to older people that are really unusual. Like, I know my dad, what he does now is if he's doing anything around the house is he mumbles, but not only does he mumble, but he mumbles about things that make him angry. So he'll be over there working on the lawnmower going, rest in front of the internet, and Google, fucker, ask, like they're just, their mind's just ready to leave. It's ready to just roll on out of there. And I think the funny thing about that is when you get to that point where you are that old, you're really going to have to go a whole new direction. So my whole thing is, I think we should be allowed to hunt the elderly. Seriously. And if they have a little bit of sense, they'll know enough to have a gun. That's all. You just don't lead them so much. You give them a good head start. Most likely they're going to get lost. Now, speaking of the elderly and speaking of hunting, I spend a lot of time in the city. And in the city, there's a lot of bad shit. Now, is there anybody out there from the hood? Who's out there from the hood? Yeah. See, you're only allowed to say the hood when you live in the hood. Because the hood to white people is, we made a wrong fucking turn. We made a wrong fucking turn. That's what the hood means to white people. Now, I work in the hood a lot. So I try to kind of blend in. First of all, I don't even have them call me Cork. I just have them call me Ritz. Just call me Ritz, because everybody knows that Ritz is America's favorite cracker. You call me Ritz, I'm going to roll right in, roll right out. And I saw the gangbangers sitting on the corner, so I started flashing out my gang signs. Turned out I was just cursing it to death. And the end result of all that is after you're all done and you're on your way home, when you come through the hood, you're going to encounter one thing. Does everybody know what that is? That's a 7-Eleven. And there's one thing we should all know about the 7-Eleven, is there's two Indian guys in there. There's one tall dude and one little dude. One of them speaks. One of them stands there and smiles and doesn't say shit. Now, most of the time that I'm there, I'm shopping quite late at night because I've actually smoked too much meth and I need somewhere to go. And I walk in there, and how they identify their patrons is fantastic, because they get a lot of traffic. And it's at night, so you can't just say, oh, and hello, and what is your name? So they know everybody by what they smoke. My man, Grape Dutch. Grape Dutch is here. Hey, Grape Dutch. Did you see Green Apple? Green Apple was in here earlier. You like Green Apple. The Sixers, they're playing very good. They're playing very, very good. I like you, Grape Dutch. You're a good customer, Grape Dutch. I like you very much. And the thing of it is you can't piss them off. Because as much as they've grasped the English language, they really fall apart when it comes to being angry. Because they can't put everything together. I've been there, and there's a couple brothers hanging out back by the magazine rack. And they're like, fucking monkey, sucky ducky. What are you doing? Those magazines are not for reading, they're for buying. You bring them up and you buy. And Cocker Spaniel Faniel over there. He's got 2 Gatorades in his fucking bucky pockets. They get angry, but I'll tell you what, and this is the honest to God truth. I was in there one night and they pipe in American music. And the only difference is there's subtle differences. And does everybody remember To Do Run Run? Remember To Do Run Run? All right, very simple, easy to remember. The only thing they did with this song was they changed the girl's name. So it sort of went something like this. I met her on a Monday and my heart stood still. To do run, 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 to do run, run. Somebody told me that their name was the do run run run, the do run run. And I'll tell you what, and I am racist because I think we all are. I think it's good to be racist. That way you never get sucker punched. And as I said before, with a lazy eye, if I'm out drinking in a bar, I don't stand a chance in hell. Because seriously, that big fucker looks down at me and goes, what are you looking at? Come on, let's fucking go. I got nothing. I got no way to defend myself. But I did figure it out. I did a lot of research on racism. And racism is simply solved. See, nobody understands, but we're very jealous. That's why we're racist. See, and everybody says, well, why are you jealous? Is it the dick thing? The black guys are jealous of the white guys for the dick thing. Now, you might not know this, but the reason for that is none of their pants fit right. You've seen them out in the street. They're working their pants so crazy because they're trying to fit that giant thing. And they look at the white guy and go, damn, look how nice his pants look. Man, I wish I was not packing this 13 inches of fun. Because I would love to look that good in a pair of slacks. And it's a true story. Now, the white guys, on the other hand, this goes way, way back in time, and I think this has something to do with African Americans stole all the great lyrics. They really did. They just sort of laid in wake. I mean, could everybody imagine Bob Dylan? Everybody knows Bob Dylan, right? Imagine if Bob Dylan lays down some of these rhymes back in the 60s. Life ain't nothing but bitches and hoes. That's why I keep them in different area codes. And my bitch better bring me my money. Like, those are just really, like, heart-wrenching, meaningful. I mean, Jersey, Philly, Bruce, Rosalita, where's my fucking money? I mean, you could take so much of it. It's so simple, but it really gets lost on me. But plain and simple, everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I am Cork. Thank you. My pleasure. Everybody have a great night.